Good morning and welcome. Really quickly before I start this video, I want to make a special shout out. If you are watching this, hopefully you are, Paige, thank you so much. I just wanted to reach out and say I received your package and your card and I really appreciated it. I thought it was so sweet and I just wanted to take this moment and thank you because I don't have your contact info on the computer or anything, so you'll hear from me via snail mail if you haven't already because I do have your address. We can be pen pals now. But anyways, I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you so much and I hope that you received this little video message. But anyways, on to the video. If you're brand new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Melissa and I work at Bath & Body Works and I have done so for about 7 years now. On my channel, we talk about fragrances and what it's like being an employee at Bath & Body Works, so if those topics interest you, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below using the big red subscribe button. Today, I wanted to share with you all of the items that I received for my employee gratis for holiday one. And then after we go over the gratis, I wanted to share with you some of the new fragrances for Christmas time and holidays. I did a little bit of candle shopping and a couple of hand soaps too, so stay tuned if you want to see a haul of some new Christmas goodies. And now let's jump into what I received for gratis holiday one. Just as a quick recap, if you've never heard of gratis, pretty much what it is at the beginning of every new theme or floor set, the company will gift its employees products of the new fragrances or new product types, so that way we have our own personal testimony to be able to share and sell with customers. What I'm going to share with you is what pretty much everybody will have redeemed for their gratis that works at Bath & Body Works. There are going to be a couple of differences because I do know that the management team will sometimes get different gratises in addition to the regular standard gratis as well for the rest of the employees, so just note that sometimes there are some differences for that reason. But starting right off, everybody was allowed to redeem one single wick candle from this holiday collection here, and of course I had to choose the chocolate covered orange. This is my obsession. I love this fragrance. It did come out earlier, a few years, I think it was 2018, we had a orange hot chocolate candle, and that was one of my all-time favorites. I still have one unburnt because I was clinging to it, but now we have it in the single wick candle, slightly different name, slightly different look, but it has, oh, they covered up the notes, so let me peel this off so I can read you the fragrance notes. So the fragrance notes for this one are juicy orange slices, creamy milk chocolate, and sweet sugar crystals. It smells exactly like those Terry's orange chocolates that you can get at the holiday time. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. It's like hot cocoa and cream plus orange. So love, love, love this candle. So got that in a single wick for gratis. We also were allowed to redeem a fancy Christmas pocket back holder as well as a hand sanitizer to go into it. So that way everybody has something festive to wear on their apron. I actually have a different one on my Christmas apron that's like the holiday pretzel with the little red and green sprinkles on it. So I have something a little different on my apron, but if I ever want to trade it out, I got the gingerbread girl and this is what she looks like. I love her little gingerbread buttons there, so cute. And then the pocket back that I chose is Winter. This is one of my favorite fragrances, at least in the home fragrance especially. So this has notes of orange, clove, and then there's like a Christmas tree scent. I think it's pine or something like that. I have a little left over of my fall one on my apron right now, so once that runs out, I'm gonna switch it up and do Winter next. We also were allowed to redeem a Wallflower plug from a few different styles. We were allowed to choose from Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I think there was a blue-ish snowflake as well that we were allowed to do. And then if there was another one, I can't remember. But the one that I chose was the Feliz Navidad snowman. You can't really read it because of the way the lighting is, but this shiny banner here says Feliz Navidad. And the hat and sweater on the snowman are fuzzy to the touch, so I think that's super fun. The snowman itself is glittery, and then this is one of the light up Wallflower plugs. Next, gratis up, we have some newness in the men's collection. This is called Deep Ocean, and it's actually a flanker of one of their best-selling men's fragrances called Just Ocean. And this one has notes of sea salt air, oak moss, and cedar leaf. So we were allowed to redeem a full-size body cream in that fragrance. Let me tell you what it smells like on my skin anyways. Now, I tend to not like men's fragrances on myself. I don't like anything super musky. And you know, Jose often doesn't like musky either. He tends to go more for the clean, fresh scents. My dad can handle musky a little bit better. He tends to like the ones that have vanilla included in them, so he likes those more warm, spicy scents. But I would say that this one surprisingly has, it's interesting. Okay, I almost smell notes of melon, like a cantaloupe. It almost reminds me of like a musky masculine version of fresh sparkling snow. There are like a little bit of like a fruity, musky melon scent in there. But ultimately, I would categorize this as a fresh, clean scent, but a little bit more spicy, dark than like your average fresh clean. I think they were saying that Ocean is supposed to be like a daytime scent, and then Deep Ocean was supposed to be the nighttime fragrance, and I can kind of see that because this one has a little bit more depth to it than Ocean. There's a creamy saltiness as well, so a very interesting blend. I think I like it. I'm not sure if Jose will like it. I'll have to have him try it on and smell it on his skin and see what he thinks. But if he doesn't like it, I will just probably pass it on to my dad and he can use it. So along with the single launch fragrance called Platinum, we actually have 2 single launch fragrances. So is that a double launch? They're separate collections, but normally what they do is they have kind of one signature fragrance released during holiday, and that's kind of like their main feature. This is at least the first time that I can recall that I've seen 2 main feature fragrances that are like signature blends by Bath & Body Works that most likely will stay beyond holiday season. You know, we'll see them into Valentine's Day. Other single launch fragrances we've seen in the past during the holiday season are Luminous, Dream Bright, and then actually that's the origin of 1,000 Wishes. It used to be a single launch for a holiday many years ago, like 2015, I want to say. Magic in the Air was also another one. So you kind of get the idea where they're more of their perfume signature blends by Bath & Body Works, as opposed to being like a collection that has all holiday scents or winter scents like Hot Cocoa and Cream and Christmas cookies and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of a different kind of branding approach. But either way, long story short, we have a single launch fragrance for the holidays called Perfect in Pink. And this one was a gratis. We got a full-size fine fragrance mist to be able to try it on and see what our personal testimony is. This has notes of vibrant cherries, pink camellia, and then whipped almond cream, which is interesting because 1,000 Wishes also has almond cream or like an amaretto cream, so there is kind of some comparison or similarity. And then I wasn't really familiar with the note pink camellia, so I actually looked it up and it turns out that it is a bloom or like a bush flower, I believe, but it actually doesn't have any fragrance. It's considered to be a fantasy note in perfumery that's supposed to kind of create a vibe when you think of it rather than it actually having a lot to bring to the table in terms of fragrance. So it's supposed to kind of give you an idea of the vibe they're going for. We've seen quite a lot of cherry in the fragrance world in the last year or so, so it's interesting that we have that trending note. We still have the Everyday Luxuries cherry still in the stores, so we actually have 2 cherries going on right now in stores. So let me spray it on a card and I'll describe it to you. On the card, I get strong notes of cherry, maybe even stronger than when I smelt it in the store. I wouldn't say it's a true 100% gourmand fragrance, although I would say that if I were to choose 2 categories, it would be gourmand paired with floral. It's like a sweet, creamy gourmand, like an edible floral, if that makes sense. I really like the way it smells on the card at home, better than when I smelt it in the store. I feel like when I smell these signature fragrances in store, they just kind of have like a generic perfumey smell. So I guess it's a little bit of advice. If you have the option to maybe try a trial size or maybe take a spray card home with you so that you can smell it later at home in a neutral space instead of in the store when there's already like 101 fragrances going on, I think that really does help a person understand what it is they're smelling and kind of be able to pick apart the notes. Like, I am smelling way more that I didn't smell in the store right now. And I'm glad because I actually really like this fragrance. I'm not sure if it's something I would wear, but I appreciate the scent. I know I have some coworkers who have been enjoying wearing this, so I know I've been smelling it on them a lot, and I have been enjoying it in that kind of secondhand way. I do get that almond cream. It has a little bit of that pistachio ice cream almond extract-esque kind of vibe going on with it in the background, but yeah, it's interesting. I feel like on my skin it comes off a little bit more floral, which makes me not like it as much because if you know me well, I just don't like the smell of floral on my own skin. But it's really pretty. I think this is actually going to make for a great Valentine's Day fragrance, and I think they're kind of thinking ahead on this one. Besides doing the pink Christmas theme, I think that they are thinking about the future and that this will be a good one to transfer us out of winter and into spring as well. So those were all of the gratises that all employees received for Holiday 1. I actually have a few more gratises to share with you just for other different little reasons, and I'll explain to you when you see the products. So my job title now at Bath & Body Works is Offsite Lead, which pretty much means that I am in charge charge of the operational tasks, the back room, the shipment, the offsites. It didn't affect my wage or anything like that. It kind of allows me to be in a leadership role without being a full-time employee, if that makes sense. And it also gives me the ability to hold keys to our offsite, so that way, since I'm the one that's kind of in charge of keeping that tidy or taking things to and from, and I'm just got my hands all over in that kind of part of the job. So therefore it makes it a little bit easier that I have easy access. Since my job title changed to offsite lead, it made it so that I was eligible for a specific gratis, I guess. So my two options for my offsite lead gratis was to either pick a single wick candle of my choice, or I was allowed to do a travel size body care trio. And I went with the body care trio just because I did already stock up on some orange chocolate single wick candles. I felt like I was good in the candle department and wanted to try some body care. So I'm not sure if they don't plan on selling it or if my store just hadn't received it yet, but the fragrance that I chose to get travel sizes of are the Bright Christmas Morning. This is going to be a new to me fragrance. This has actually been, I think, out 2 years in a row. I think this is its third year in stores. I could be wrong on that, but it's not a new fragrance. So Bright Christmas Morning, I got it in a travel size body cream, as well as the travel size body mist. I'm trying to focus in so that you can see. Everything is so shiny this year, which makes it kind of hard to see on camera, but I hope you can get a good look of that packaging. This is my favorite packaging that Bright Christmas Morning has had, just because it looks so festive and traditional Christmas. I think it looks really sophisticated and pretty with the red and gold. So shower gel, since they didn't have the shower gel in stock, I just grabbed a winter candy apple that I can pair with it if I want, or, you know, eventually they're gonna have a full-size body care sale, I'm sure, so I can always pick up the shower gel at some other point. But this was a good kind of second option to pair with the Bright Christmas Morning. So the notes listed for the Bright Christmas Morning are ripe red berries, blood orange, and crisp apple. I find that it pretty much, at least when I've smelt it in store, is kind of like a 2.0 of champagne toast. I feel like a lot of those bubbly, fruity fragrances kind of have a similar concept behind them. But let me smell it now that we're at home so that I can kind of pick apart those notes easier, because everything kind of smells like champagne toast in the store if it's fruity. Smells really good. It's surprisingly fresh. Like sometimes fruity can go different routes. It can be a little bit more of a rich fruity or a gourmand fruity, but this one is quite clean scented. Must be that orange. I know sometimes when you have citrus in a fragrance, it kind of leans towards the clean side. I think if I had one complaint about this fragrance is that it doesn't smell anything like a Christmas morning to me would. Like normally Christmas morning smells like home-baked cinnamon rolls and the smell of the Christmas tree, since we usually are all sitting around it. So I think of more of those classically festive fragrances as opposed to fresh apples, if that makes sense. I think I would enjoy wearing this fragrance more than the Winter Candy Apple, because Winter Candy Apple has the note of rose in it, which my skin tends to pull, and I don't want it to smell like rose. I want it to smell like apples, and I feel like this is more truly an apple scent than Winter Candy Apple even is. It's more pure fruit. The berry notes that they're using in this fragrance kind of help lean it more towards that festive side again, as well as orange instead of lemon, for example. I feel like it's just lightly festive. Like if you don't like to smell straight up like Christmas, this actually would be a good option for you because it's not overly festive. This is a great fragrance that you could continue on in January, February, March. So I think I'm going to enjoy using this for the first time this year. And then the very last gratis that I received was actually because I won the Gingham Spotlight Award, which apparently is kind of like a Employee of the Month, I guess. So I guess my extra efforts to help us get prepared for holiday season didn't go unnoticed. So for the Gingham Spotlight, we are allowed to choose a gratis, essentially, of an item of our choice that is $18.95 or less, and I almost got laundry, something from the laundry collection. I still have my pineapple mango one that I got from our last gratis that I haven't used yet, so I kind of wanted to do laundry, mainly because that really helps me get to that $18.95 price point limit and really gets bang for the buck kind of deal. But what I ended up doing instead was I got a Winter Candy Apple shampoo, and I planned on picking up the conditioner that matches this some other time. I know they're going to have a sale on it eventually, as they always do, so I'll just pick it up a little bit later. But for now, I got the shampoo, and I do like the formula that Bath & Body Works uses for these style shampoos and conditioners. I find that this is a good formula for people like me who have drier hair because it's quite moisturizing. So Winter Candy Apple, if if it's new to you, it has red apples, winter rose petals, candied orange, maple leaf, and fresh cinnamon. I find that to me, winter candy apple mainly smells like a combo of apple, rose, and kind of like a fresh, clean bar soap kind of scent that kind of reminds me of the 90s, just because this is the 25th anniversary of winter candy apple. So this is one of their old classic fragrances, and I find that with a lot of their older fragrances, they all kind of have this subtle 90s-esque scent to it, and winter candy apple definitely has that. Phew, so that was it for the Gratis. That was a lot to cover already, so I'm just going to quickly blast through some of the hand soaps and candles that I picked up. Hand soaps were on a, I think, $3.50 sale. I just grabbed two quickly because there were a couple of scents that we were low on stock, and I just knew I wanted to give them a try, so I grabbed two of those, and then I did grab a tray of candles, so we'll do that very last. So this is the small holiday bag. The small ones are going to be pink. I really love that they have the year 2024 on here because I do collect one from each holiday, so that way I can have them kind of as my little memories. So I love that they included the year. So the small ones are pink. We have medium like this, which are red, and that's super fun. Here's like the picture of the Christmas tree that we have in the store. We actually have props that look like that too. Here's the large one. It's a green one. So we've got 3 different colors for 3 different sizes. I think they're super fun this year. I really like the shopper bags. But either way, hand soaps. We've got 2 that I grabbed. I grabbed this one called Christmas Kitchen. And I was like, maybe this is kind of a spin on Kitchen Lemon. It definitely is not a spin on Kitchen Lemon. It smells like soft baked bread, candied fruit, and vanilla sugar. So essentially what I get from this is it smells like your classic old-fashioned fruit cake, and I love fruit cakes. So I'm very excited about this soap. I can't wait to use it. And then matching that same packaging, I got the Perfect Christmas, which is a scent that I like in the candle. It's kind of like Marshmallow Fireside gets a fun Christmas twist. So the notes on this one are fresh cut pine, cinnamon sugar, and toasted marshmallow. So it's like a smoky sweet scent like Marshmallow Fireside is, but it has that pine included in there. Last weekend we had a huge candle sale. It was quite a big deal for us because it was actually last year's Candle Day pricing, which is like our big annual candle holiday when you can find them at the lowest prices. So I knew that I was going to take advantage of this sale. I know that there were rumors that that was Candle Day and that we will not be having a Candle Day in December like we normally do. As far as I'm aware, that is not the case. We are still going to have our traditional Candle Day later on during this holiday season, so stay tuned, watch your app and your emails or whatever it is you do. It's still going to be coming. I just don't know what the pricing is going to be yet, so I'm curious if it's going to be the same as we already had at $10.95. I feel like if they did that, it would be a little bit less exciting in the sense that it's like, oh, we already had that sale, so it kind of makes me wonder if it's going to be lower, but at this point it's all rumor. I actually have no idea, so we'll see what happens. Either way, I know I'm going to be buying Christmas candles on Candle Day later, so what I actually did for this previous candle sales, I bought 3 fall candles to either save for next year or to get me through Thanksgiving this year. And then I bought 3 holiday candles. So there was a handful of fragrances I knew I wanted to go into the holiday season with, and I knew that there was a chance that they were going to sell out soon. So let me start with the fall fragrances first. My store had almost no fall candles left, so it made choosing a little bit easier in that sense. I love Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin. This is a really good Halloween candle, although this is the packaging from fall 3, so it's kind of Thanksgiving-y, kind of almost hinting at winter as well. So this is probably going to be saved for next year just so that I have one on hand. This is warm cinnamon, fresh ground clove, vanilla cream, and brown sugar. In the home fragrance, it's quite different than the body care of Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin. I find that the body care, once again, I mentioned that classic 90s soapy kind of scent. The body care definitely has that scent in it, while this one does not. It smells way richer and more harvesty in the candle, but I love both, and I cannot wait to burn this. Probably next year. I grabbed a pumpkin pecan waffles. In this particular packaging I really like because they have a little history blurb on the back. I actually didn't notice that right away, so let me read this to you. Pumpkin pecan waffles has been coveted classic since 2013. This fragrance transports you to the cozy, sweet indulgences of the fall season. I think that is so sweet that they included its debut year, so that's why I chose this jar over like the classic White Barn one, for instance. Just as a refresher, the notes on pumpkin pecan waffles are maple syrup, golden waffles, and pumpkin spice. Now I know I've used this fragrance in hand soap and hand sanitizer, I think even a hand cream as well, but I don't believe I've ever burnt it in a candle before. This is Afternoon Apple Picking, and once again, same packaging with the history blurb on the back, so let me read it. It says, Afternoon Apple Picking debuted in our soap form in 2016, and it was an instant hit. Now find this beloved fall fragrance and activity in candles for its first time. Oh, I guess that's why I didn't burn it in a candle before, because it was only in soap. That adds up. Oh my gosh, it does smell really good. So the notes on this one are crisp apple, succulent pear, and cinnamon. If you want something that's just like classic straight up apple, no extra weird notes, I think this is probably the one. I feel like Honeycrisp Apple is a close contender, but there is a slight floral kick to it when it's burning. At least that's in my experience what I've noticed. I feel like this one is a little bit closer to that true pure apple scent. All right, 3 more candles, and they're all festive holiday ones. So we already talked about this in the pocket back, but I have winter. This one was selling like hotcakes over the weekend in my store, so I knew I had to grab one now because I actually don't have one in backup. With my favorites, I usually have one from the previous year just kind of in my stash just in case, but this one I had ran out of, so I'm glad to grab another. This is the classic winter. It has notes of white woods, pine needles, sparkling clementine, and spiced clove. But yeah, this one was really popular, like I said, over the weekend. Every time I would stock the candles, I would turn around and look, and there would already be holes ready to be restocked again. I was like, oh, I couldn't keep up. Another one that almost sold out over the weekend in my store was Peppermint Bark, and this is a brand new fragrance as of this year, one of the few actually, and I think this packaging is super festive and cute. It's like a little fun festive wallpaper, I guess, or it kind of looks like wrapping paper. But Peppermint Bark, we've got rich dark chocolate, melted white chocolate, and crushed candy canes. On cold, I like this better than some of their other mint plus chocolate pairings that they've had in the past. I know there was a white mint mocha in the past that had kind of an interesting little coffee note in it that I did enjoy, but I kind of want it just to be pure chocolate and peppermint. And you know the scent crushed candy cane, right? It really does smell like that, except it's a little bit more toned down and subtle and subdued because of that chocolate pairing. This is not a new fragrance by any means, but it's new to me. I've never burnt this one before, and I'm really excited to try it. And I love the fragrance cold, so I don't know why I always skipped it. I think I just kind of, I don't know, it fell off my radar. So this is Cinnamon Sugared Pecans, and it has fragrance notes of warm cinnamon, toasted pecans, and brown sugar. I smell all of those 3 notes very strong. So I smell the toasted nuts. It has kind of like a little bit of a nuttiness, but the cinnamon clove kind of spiced note to it. It almost has like a buttery caramely scent. If you've ever made like caramelized nuts on the stovetop and it's like all gooey and warm, like the warm temperature itself almost gives the cinnamon a different scent than when it's just like cold or straight cinnamon. Like it literally smells like heated up warmth, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a weird way of describing it. I hope that that kind of prevails when you light it, that you notice that scent, but it smells so gooey, and I think that this is actually a good fall into winter candle because pecan pie for Thanksgiving. All right, and that was the last item for this haul / my gratis haul. So I hope you enjoyed. You'll have to let me know in the comments below if you took advantage of the $10.95 sale, and if you did you get more fall candles or more winter candles? You'll have to let me know which candles you picked up, and I will see you in my next video. Until next time, bye.